Welcome in, everybody. It's the Craft Beer Republic. Thanks for drinking. Thanks for joining. I am Greg, and over there with his siren song, that is Flexi. What's up, big fella?
Just trying to seduce the masses.
Well, it's working over here, let me tell you. I don't know about the masses, but it's massive. Anyways, not a boner show.
Never
Sorry,
is.
everybody.
I don't know if it ever will be.
I don't know. We keep trying real hard to turn into one. Anyways, find us on the socials, if you will, if you're still there. At Craft Beer Republic and at FlexMeABeer _ in between. So much show to get to tonight. We are going to indulge in my favorite holiday tradition. Got some...
Is that really happening already?
Oh, it's time, my friend. Christmas is next week. There's not a better time to do it. We've got a ludicrous libation law. Words are already fantastic. Some booze news to get through. But before we get to all that, top listening city of last week. Shout out to Riverside, California. What's up, Riverside? Ish. Well, they're out east where they make all the meth.
California's California.
How dare you?
It's a Midwest perspective.
Yeah, California should be like 5 different states, both in size and diversity.
All right. Same thing when people say Wisconsin's basically Canada. It's not, and you're an asshole.
I always think Minnesota's basically Canada.
That's what I say.
Their accents are basically the same.
It's so much worse than a Wisconsin accent.
Yeah.
Especially like a southern, like I'm southeastern Wisconsin, like the southeast corner. So
yeah, like Minnesota, they got the A, and they sound very Canadian.
Big time with the A. They play duck, duck, gray duck. Like it's fucking weird.
Is that a real thing? Duck, duck, gray duck?
Yeah, and it's only in Minnesota.
I've never fucking heard of that before.
Everybody else around the country that's normal plays duck, duck, goose. Not in Canada. Minnesota. They play duck, duck, gray duck, or probably both.
Yeah, that's fucking. I've never heard that. That's so good.
Oh, it's funny when I meet people or talk to people that live in Minnesota. I always work that into the conversation, and they're always like the look of shock and embarrassment on their face. Yeah, it's like, you found us out. It's like, no, it's a big fucking state, and it's pretty fucking weird. Like, y'all are fucking weird.
It's a weird fucking game you guys play.
Biggest ball of twine is in Minnesota. That just says it all.
Oh, that sounds like something you would stop at, though.
I would. Only
you like
because,
the roadside attractions.
But here's okay. This is a little thing for me. It's a Weird Al Yankovic song, Biggest Ball of Twine in Minnesota.
Mm.
And ever since I heard the song, it's just really well done. He's a great songwriter.
Weird Al.
Very great singer, and how his lyrics are funny as hell. I would stop at it only because of his song. I would never stop at it just to stop at it.
Did you see his movie a couple years ago?
No, with Daniel Radcliffe.
Yeah, it was like the fake biopic.
Yeah, it came out on some streaming service that I didn't have.
Oh, I watched it on the flight to Portugal a couple months ago. And, I wish I was drunk or stoned when I watched it, because it's silly. If you go in thinking like, this is going to be dumb as fuck, I think you're good. I didn't realize how fake it was. I thought it was just his story with some embellishments. And I was
very
not at all correct.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's completely
there's like a scene where he's supposed to have sex with Madonna.
Oh, they date for a while in the movie.
Oh, okay. So there you have it. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, not to give anything away, but like Madonna basically ruins his life.
That's hilarious.
So, yeah, it's pretty good. So anyways, enough about Madonna. Not a Madonna show, but it is
not a Weird Al Yankovic show.
Well, maybe one of these days.
Sure.
But for now, it's still a beer show. So let's find out what beer Flex is drinking over there.
In a world where craft beer is king, a world where muscles are bigger than growlers, only one tongue can guide us. One man, one tongue, one tongue jobber. In this world, we must find out what is Flex drinking.
It's even better because like you bumped your camera and start shaking while you're eating out the air.
Damn. I'm pretty good.
I'm hard.
So a little fun story here. I don't know how many people do this, if it's a normal thing, if it's not a normal thing. I bring my kids to the liquor store with me.
This is my favorite.
I don't frown upon it. I don't care. Whatever.
I love that you do this because I know they're picking out your beer 100% based on candor.
Not only do they love to pick it out, my youngest, she's 8. She loves carrying it around because it makes her feel strong. You know.
Oh, okay.
4-pack of beer. You know, it's
got a few pounds to it.
Yeah, just a couple. But she was walking around the store the other day with 2 of them, and she said, "Man, look how strong I am." And I just said, "Yep, yeah, you are." You know, just feed into it. So, I was only going to get 2 4-packs the other day. Classic cheapskate flex.
Mm-hmm.
And then my kids found this beer. It is called Croc Couture.
Mm-hmm.
And we're not talking like croc like a crocodile.
We're talking shoes.
We're talking Crocs like the shoes.
Oh yeah.
And it is these sparkly silver
some shiny Crocs.
Crocs on this hairy ass man's leg.
Looks like it's on Scott's leg.
Love their Crocs. It's even got like a little Croc charm on this Croc, and the handle, the heels in the back. It's up, so they're built for speed right here.
Duh. Aren't all Crocs?
Well, you got the little thing that lifts up in the back, right? You can either push it forward,
the little strappy thing. Yeah,
the strappy thing. That's what I was getting at. So this one is on the heel. So this man or woman, they're built for speed. Yeah,
we're moving.
They're moving on this can. And my kids, they love their Crocs. I don't understand. I don't own a pair. Never have.
Same.
Probably never will. I hear they're comfortable.
We will probably hit an age where we're like, you know what we need? It's fucking Crocs.
I'm going to disagree strongly, but you know, they always say never.
True.
But this one's out of, never heard of them. Little House Brewing.
Sorry.
Well, I never have. Little House Brewing Company. And again, much like last week, apparently I just love Connecticut beer.
Oh.
Because where the hell? I found it.
Back to the CT.
Yeah. What the fuck did it say? Doesn't matter. They're from Connecticut somewhere. North Haven. There you go.
One of 2 cities.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that is the only other city.
Was it New Haven and Bristol, we decided?
Yes. That is exactly what it was. So on Untapped here, again, must be a relatively new beer. I don't know how they get these recent drops from all these places or new breweries or what's going on. 314 check-ins. That's it. 395. It says it's a New England hazy IPA, 6%. It's I'll read the can. It's a little more on the can. It says Crocs, Crocs, Crocs. We just love Crocs. We're crazy about them. Who isn't? This one's for all the Croc lovers out there. A go-to IPA made with dependable hops to match everyone's super reliable, always in season footwear friend. Crocs. And then a little heart
hand thing.
The Untapped does tell me that it's Citra, Mosaic, Simcoe, and Centennial.
I was going to say Old Faithful hops or whatever they called it. You know, it's going to be a bunch of C hops.
Right. I figured it was just like kind of like a flagship. Maybe it is, maybe it isn't. I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
So we'll get poured a little out here. Take a little sniff.
Pour some out for the homies.
It's definitely a little hoppy. There's like hints of like small hints of like malt pine and then like some citrus coming through.
Sounds a little old school, but it's got some old school hops.
Right. That's what I'm thinking. So on the old tongue jobber now.
There we go.
So it does have a bit of a malt backbone. And then you get a little sweetness after that. And then, man, what is that flavor right there?
Pine.
No, it's not. It's like it's definitely like a fruity flavor. I just can't figure out what it is. 1 second. Like a subtle sweetness after the malt. No bitterness. And it really is just like subtle malt character. Not my favorite in hazies. But it's not bad.
I was going to say, would you consider it a hazy or an unfiltered?
So look at it.
Yeah, because I could kind of see it in the background there.
The beer itself is very hazy.
Mm-hmm. But it's got more of that old school coloring to it. A little darker.
Yeah, it is darker, like a goldenrod.
Mm-hmm.
A little bit almost that amber color. It's It's not bad. It's not great. I can drink it. I don't think I would get it again. But I'm happy my kids, are into, picking out what they want me to drink. I think that's like a fun.
I love it so much.
When you have kids, as a dad, as a guy, husband, whatever, male,
dude,
you always people are always like, oh, do you want a boy? Do you want a boy? Well, it doesn't matter if you have a boy or a girl, because if you raise your kids right, your interests will eventually rub off onto your children.
Right.
Whether it's sports, superheroes, if you're whatever you're into,
being a drunk.
Exactly. It'll eventually, something will rub off onto them and they will take some kind of interest, whether it's full or partial. And I don't know. I just think it's kind of like that they have fun with it.
Wait till she's 12. She'll be like pumping iron and slamming IPAs.
Dude, if my kid's doing that at 12, she's going to be president.
I say you've done something right at that point.
Yeah. Well, except the drunk part. Probably not a good idea.
Isn't 12 late for Wisconsin? I mean, don't they start a little early there?
Yeah, I think my father-in-law and my dad both started at 10. And we're talking
what else
drink. We're talking drinking and cigs. So yeah,
that's old school.
It got pretty nuts here.
Yeah,
back in the day.
Yeah. Well, very nice. I love when your kids pick out your beer because it's basically like a Russian roulette. And because they find like the prettiest or funniest or whatever cans they can find,
right?
It says absolutely nothing about the beer and
nothing about the beer, nothing about the brewery.
Yeah,
zero fucks.
I love it. I can't wait until you try it. So when you said that your kids picked out a beer for you, I was like, yes, here we go.
Yeah, and I purposely planned on having it after they bought it. I was like, Greg's gonna love this.
Did you get the whole 4-pack of it?
I did.
You got 3 more of those bad boys, huh?
Yeah, this one, I don't think this one is bad. It was like maybe $13.99.
God damn, your beer is cheap.
But that quad I had last week. I mean, I was even kind of impressed with this. It was only $19.99 for a Evil Twin quad.
It's pretty good, especially with the algorithm being such a high ABV and all that stuff.
Right. I would say that was probably like a 1-to-1-to-1 ratio if I was to guess. That beer was really good. Nice. But this one, it's okay. It's drinkable. I can finish the 4-pack. I just really don't think I'd buy it again.
Yeah, that's fair. Not a drain pour.
I am curious on what these guys what else these guys have to offer here. Little House.
Yeah,
because I've never heard of them.
Right. Yeah.
I don't know if you have.
No, I have not. This is the first time. Thanks to your daughters for introducing me to a new brewery.
They'll say you're welcome.
Yeah, on their behalf. Sometimes the closest I get, no kids, and Marty's not great at picking out beer. He just likes to drink mine. The wife and I will sometimes, like if I finish a beer and she's getting up to go to the kitchen, I'm like, hey, can you get me a beer? And she'll go, what do you want? It'll surprise me. So she'll pour it in a glass and then bring it to me and make me guess what it is. It's always a fun game.
Fun.
We'll do that to each other.
Like, guess what kind of style it is or what beer exactly it is?
All the above. So it'll be like, oh, this is, clearly, I mean, if it's a hazy, it's a hazy. You can see it out the bat, but it's like, oh, this is.
It could be juicy, Greg.
Well, you wouldn't see that though.
You bite your tongue.
Yeah. Then it's like, okay, based on what you know about the beer that's in the fridge, what beer do you think this is? And, I have a pretty decent track record because I know what beer's in the fridge.
That's what my favorite beer tender will do. Sometimes I'll tell him to he said, what do you want? I said, just give me some kind of IPA. Then he'll pour me an IPA and then I will guess off of what's on the menu.
Yeah.
What he gave me. And it's a lot of fun.
That. Yeah. It's fun to guess. It's good times. All right. Any, besides, hanging out with your kids, any research lately? I don't know about you. I've been, I'm still on the road. I'm in a hotel again this week. And
just a ton of work with the holidays.
Yeah.
Not a ton of time for research for me.
Same. I'm on the same page there. So, all right. I won't talk about my research thing because I don't really have anything to talk about.
Yeah, sorry about that.
Sorry, everybody. Yeah. But it is the holiday season. And there's
the season, as some would say.
Yes. And there's something that I must do every year. And once again, I will give everyone a little backstory for all the new listeners. I grew up listening to Mark and Brian radio show here in LA. And it was a morning show. Mark and Brian were hilarious. Sort of my radio gods. Mark always called himself a radio god. Anyways, I think it was Mark that found this. Maybe it was Brian.
What a sociopath.
Right. Narcissist. He found at like a Goodwill this old Disney record that had like Christmas songs and stories and, just a Christmas record of sorts from Disney from way back when. And on it was this track I'm about to play you. And I fucking love it. I crack up every time. I laughed as a kid when they first started playing this, and every year it's still my favorite. So because they're no longer on the air ever since I started podcasting, which was the year they went off the air, I've played this on all the shows I've been a part of because it's just my fucking favorite. And without this, it's not Christmas time. So everybody, please enjoy the dropping of the Yule Log.
Christmas Eve is probably the most exciting night of the year for children everywhere. At our house, the ritual is always the same. Mom hurries dinner out of the way so that the festivities can begin. First, I lay a fire in the fireplace. I pride myself on the way I lay a fire. To begin, I crinkle newspaper to put under the grate.
It's an unnecessary sound effect.
Then I put in the kindling, breaking the sticks into the proper lengths.
Ow. Shots fired.
Then I bring in the Yule Log and put it in the grate.
That's the biggest log we've ever had, Dad.
Yeah, and the heaviest, too.
If that doesn't sound like someone taking a shit, I don't know what does. The grunting, the dropping, just all of it.
Also, so first off, let me say, I look forward to Christmas every year. And this is one of the reasons.
I love it.
Number 2, and then number 3.
Thank you.
We've all started fires before.
Sure.
Right? Whether you have an inside
I love starting fires.
Or a fire pit. How big are the logs that you like? This guy sounds like he is pulling in an entire tree.
Also, just one log. Usually, it's like a couple of crisscross. I don't know.
Right, because you need to.
Yeah, but it's the Yule Log, so
that's wild.
Yeah, I love it. Clearly, the dude's taking a shit, and the newspaper crinkling sounds like the ocean. And some Foley artists got paid way too much money for that. And they're like, I got to earn my keep. More sound effects.
It's brilliant.
Yeah.
I don't know whose idea that was, but that was.
Yeah. I love when the sticks are breaking. It sounds like those little poppers.
It just sounds like whips.
Or that. Yeah. It always reminds me of the little poppers that you throw at the ground. Little white popper things.
Yeah.
Pop, pop, pop. Everybody down. So anyways, everybody, you may now celebrate the holiday season. You're welcome.
It's official.
It's official. You cannot celebrate until we have the dropping of the Yule Log. Log has been dropped. Go forth and celebrate. All right. Before I talk about my beverage, still ludicrous libation law. Going to California for this one. California prohibits alcohol producers from listing the names of retailers or restaurants that sell their products. That also includes advertising and newsletters.
Damn.
Which I thought was interesting because, like, I know a lot of breweries, and the one I could thought of the most was Stone, has a beer finder thing on their website.
Right.
Find our beer, type in your zip code, and we'll show you where we sell our beer around there.
So I wonder if, like, the internet is like a loophole for that.
Yeah, I don't know.
Because believe it or not, Greg, WWW stands for World Wide Web. I don't know if you knew this. It's like a 90s thing.
I thought it was Worldwide Wrestling.
One would hope so. So maybe it's like a loophole. Like it's technically not considered local because it's vast.
Yeah. Or maybe it's like, it's not advertisements or whatever because you have to do the searching. They just give you the I don't know. It's weird. It's very California. California, it's so funny, has some really cool alcohol laws and then it has some really weird alcohol laws. Like, we are one of the few states that solidified after COVID the whole like booze to go thing.
Right.
But then we have this weird shit where it's like, you can't tell people where to find your beer. Oh, all right.
The alcohol to go thing is still pretty weird because you can't do that anywhere here.
Oh, I would think Wisconsin of all places would be
Right. You would think so.
DTF. Yeah.
Like I'm pretty certain all the restaurants and stuff that were doing to go stuff just kind of killed it after everything
once it
back
expired.
up. Right.
Yeah. Not here.
There was nothing like ordering from the local Mexican restaurant and getting like 3 margaritas to go.
Yeah.
And them shits was some shit. Let me tell you.
There's a local chain. They're I think just in Southern California. It's a barbecue place. It's called Wood Ranch. During COVID, you could order an old fashioned. Or I mean, you could order multiple cocktails, but the one we would order is the old fashioned. And for what was basically like $18, you'd get like 4 drinks worth of old fashioned, and they just fill up one of those soup containers. Fucking fantastic. And they were not light on the booze. They were great.
That's what you want.
Oh, it's absolutely what you want. It was great.
Especially during that time. You couldn't ask for anything better.
No, we needed the booze during that time. Let me tell you.
I don't know how people made it without, honest to goodness. Like,
I know I didn't. I know I put on some weight in 2020 because I did a little extra drinking that year.
a lot of people did.
Yeah, still carrying it around too. All right, let's make a call to the pen, if you don't mind.
He calls to the bullpen for
beer.
You know, 'tis the season, the giving season, and intern Brian was very giving. He hooked me up with a couple of beers, but one of them is this Trillium Fort Point Pale Ale.
Oh,
yes,
another pale.
Yeah, another pale 2 weeks in a row. Because I don't care what season it is. I want some fucking pales, and I want them to be hazy. Because I'm a haze bitch. It's 6.6%, which to me really inching into that IPA territory, but whatever.
That is pretty heavy for a pale.
I feel like anything over 6.5, even over 6,
I would say
think
even
is a
6, right?
Yeah, I think 6 is heavy, but 6.5 and above to me, we're talking IPA territory. But either way, I'll take it. So 6.6% has a 4.21 on Untapped. And they say our signature American Pale Ale balances light, crisp malt character with an abundance of hop-derived aromatics and flavors from the use of Citra and Columbus. The fragrant nose is fresh citrus, tropical fruit, and peach. Bold flavors of pineapple and mango mixed with dank notes of zesty citrus and fresh pine needles. With a smooth mouthfeel, gentle bitterness, and dry finish, Fort Point is our standard daily drinker on the old schnoz.
I'll tell you, while you're sniffing that, very curious on if Brian got this here in California or on Boston, Massachusetts.
I know the answer, and I was going to talk about this. He got it in California.
Okay.
There's a shop near his house where the owner is a big beer fan and like he gets some specialty beers, and like back in the day when Russian River was hard to find, it's like the only place locally we could find Russian River. And so not surprising they had some Trillium. But on that note, you want to guess how much this 4-pack was?
So it is a pale.
It's a pale, 6.6.
6.6%. I could tell you how much that beer cost here.
Okay.
And I believe it was $24.99.
Oh, so he didn't get taken too hard. Here, I believe what he told me was $28. The 4-pack.
Sounds about right.
Yeah. All right. I thought you were going to say like it's $17.
No, anytime Trillium, which I would say in the last year has been fairly frequent, like once a month ish, we'll get a Trillium drop. But the prices are so dumb to me. Like a regular IPA, like a 7.5%, 8% IPA.
Yeah.
Is the $28 that you just got the pale ale for. So
yeah,
I don't care. People could tell me how good Trillium is. I will refuse to pay that fucking price.
Well, he got 2 different 4-packs from Trillium. He gave me one from each. I think one was 28 and one was 30. So very nice of intern Brian to hook it up.
What a stellar guy.
What a fucking stud.
Can we get him back on?
We know what we need. We sort of half talked about when we were drunk the other night. He was at that same wine party I was talking about last week, and at a friend's house. And yeah, we're like, he's like, when are you going to have intern Brian back? And I was like, we should have intern Brian back on. Like,
we absolutely should.
I know we generally have chicks on the show and, you know, try to break up the sausage fest, but we need some intern Brian in our lives. But I also need to be at home and not in a hotel for that to happen.
That's true. You are in a hotel.
Yeah. So, anywho, on the schnoz, quickly here, it's a light on the schnoz. Do get like a little bit of the peach I'm picking up, but overall pretty light. The taste, though, much bigger. I get the citrus. I get the mango. I'm not getting so much peach as I did on the nose. It's got a fair bit of malt. It's a little old school in that way. I'm getting some malt.
Interesting.
I mean, you can see it's very hazy. It's definitely in the hazy territory.
All right. I feel like we're having an issue with that today.
Yeah. It's weird. It's got a little of that old school malt to it, but otherwise, you know, very good, nice, great, easy drinker. Doesn't taste like 6.6.
It was worth $28 a 4-pack.
Well, I don't want to offend intern Brian, but
it's not offending him. It's hey, I found this really cool brewery that's very hyped, and I would like to give you a little spill of it.
Yeah, I'm glad I got to try it. And had I not had Trillium ever with the name that they had, and I was out in the wild and I saw one for the first time, I would probably spend $28 at least just to try one. But overall, no. And it's probably not worth the $28. In fact, not overall. Definitely no. I mean, no beer is worth $28 because I know how much it cost them to make it, and it was not $28 for 4 of these. But that brings up a good point. Does the name of a brewery, Trillium, had Treehouse a couple weeks ago, thanks to Not Murder John, that kind of name, does that automatically add like $8 to the 4-pack?
I would say so. Seems
like it. I mean, other than like maybe getting it at the source, but I feel like those hype breweries can sort of charge whatever they want. I was starting to think those days were coming to an end, but maybe they're not.
There's still a few scragglers out there. Like seeing Drecker prices after seeing like, you know, Trillium drops, like even when Parrish drops here, super hype brewery out of Louisiana,
right?
Known for
Ghost in the Machine.
Ghost in the Machine, and then all the Ghost variants, which I've never had, but are supposed to be really good.
I've had one or two.
Parrish comes here, and it's anywhere from like $12.99 to $14.99 a 4-pack.
No shit.
Yeah, that's it.
That's a steal.
Like I even got they sent a triple IPA up here one weekend. He was $14.99. I got it for.
That's pretty good. There's something sexy about not knowing how hot you are. It's like sexy indifference. They're just like, hey, here's $15, 4-pack, no big deal.
Or you're just, what a way to put it. I don't even know what to say after that.
Fine, fucking period. Let's move on. Yeah, just there's something draws me to you that you're willing to do that. So not following. You know what it is? It's not falling into your own hype.
Yeah, it's I don't know. Just
yeah.
It almost seems like people doing what they love and respecting the people who love it.
Right, the people who are spending the money.
You know. And just just like you don't want to overcharge. You just want to be like, the guy.
Yeah, and buy my fucking beer. You can afford it. I promise.
Right, because nowadays, inflation.
Fucking beer prices.
Not an economic show, but I do like when good beer is very, very. What the fuck is the word?
Affordable?
That's probably the word.
Not douchey.
Reasonable. Reasonable is the word.
Working man's beer. As Stone Cold would say, swig a beer for the working man.
What?
Thank you. All right, let's do a little news before we get out of here. The TTB. You down with TTB?
You know me.
Yeah. Has announced formula exemptions. I didn't know this was a thing. So the Alcohol and Tobacco Tax and Trade Bureau, TTB, is exempting 20 the Alcohol and I stuck in your mom last night Bureau. The Alcohol and Tobacco Tax and Trade Bureau, don't say that when you're drunk, is exempting 24 brewing ingredients from its formula submission and approval requirements. What does this mean, you ask? Going forward, using the ingredients that I'm about to tell you will no longer trigger the need to submit and receive TTB approval of the formula for the beer in question. Brewers should recognize that the exemption of a particular ingredient does not exempt the flavoring. So if you get like an extract or something, but if you use these specific ingredients, you no longer need TTB approval. And I didn't know this was so I brought this up because I didn't know this was a whole thing that you had to get like TTB approval to use certain ingredients. So the new 24 ingredients, I'll just blow through them real quick. Almonds, bananas, beets, cantaloupe, carrots, cucumbers, dandelion leaves / greens, dill, dragon fruit, elderberries. This one surprised me. Guava, hazelnuts, lavender, lychee fruit, papaya, peanuts, pecans, pistachios, prickly pear, rhubarb, rosehip, spruce, tea, and walnuts.
So you don't need approval if you use those now?
Right. So you don't need to submit your recipe to the TTB for approval based on using one of these ingredients. They're now on the A-OK list. I'm surprised that any of the nuts, made it because allergy stuff.
Well, no, I don't think so.
Oh, all right. Well, I'll shut up then. I'm allergic to walnuts, so
just walnuts.
Just walnuts, and to a lesser extent, coconuts.
What about D's?
No, I love those.
Oh, okay.
Great amount of salt.
Making sure.
Yeah. No. Don't you worry.
Don't need you to go into anaphylactic now.
I'll go somewhere else.
Do you think if you're allergic to bananas, you go into bananaphylactic?
We should just end the show there.
I hate myself for that.
Good night, everybody. I don't know if you're a genius or an idiot. Is going into bananaphylactic. I hope I get to use that someday. Oh, fuck.
I really think less of myself now. I really do.
I doubt you're the only one. But that was fantastic.
It's fun to say.
It is fun to say. Yeah, it's like Bananarama.
Right. Bananaphylactic.
Avanti, which is a train provider in Europe, has launched a new low alcohol beer safety thirst, not first, for the festive holiday season campaign. Basically, they're tired of people getting schmammered on trains, and so they came up with their own non-alcoholic beer for you to enjoy. What else
are you supposed to do on trains?
That's what I was thinking. But here's the worst part. They made a song introducing this awful non-alcoholic beer.
Oh, safety first, a new low alcohol beer. Keeps you steady, light and ready, full of festive cheer. Hey, safety first, limited edition brew. If you've had a few, try something new while en route. Dashing through the station, can't wait to get home. Had a drink or two, best to slow your roll. Take care on the stairs, avoid a viral fail. Have a sip of this instead and hold the handrail. Oh, safety first.
I think Flex's face says it all.
Keeps you steady, light and ready, full of festive cheer. Hey, safety first, limited edition brew. If you've had a few, try something new while en route. Rushing to leave town.
I'm going to stop it because that's only half of the song so far. But yeah. Whoever their marketing person is should be shot in the face.
Yeah, no me gusta.
Yeah, see. How do I say I agree? Yeah, I don't know.
Mi también?
Close enough. Mi también. Yo también. Somebody out there who speaks Spanish is yelling at their stereo. I took Spanish for 3 years in high school. You think I know a little bit more?
I took it for 6 years between middle school and high school.
God damn.
And I know how to, all I remember how to say is bulldozer.
Wait, what is bulldozer?
Excavadora.
I didn't even know that.
Sí.
Me gusta excavadora. Yeah, I know enough to like go order tacos at like the hole in the wall joint with the best tacos, and that's all I need.
You don't need anything more than that.
No, you just tip if you're coming to California. If they speak English, the tacos aren't that good.
I guess I'll try and find that out.
Take a note. All right. Go Patch Brewing, and I bring this up because I've actually been there, out of Colorado Springs, is going to acquire Pikes Peak Brewing. Go Patch is this cool little spot in an old school. In fact, it's my cousin's old school. So we went there to have a couple of beers. He's like, it's so weird drinking here because like the principal's office is down the hall, and we can go in the gym. In the gym, it's like this kid's playground area, and he's just showing me around his old school, which is now a brewery, and like a couple of the classrooms are different businesses, and it's cool and weird all at the same time. There's a couple of those in Colorado Springs. Interesting.
Huh.
There's also a brewery in a church. That was pretty cool.
I do like that.
Yeah. Only time you get me to go to church. So anyways, hopefully good thing for Pikes Peak Brewing. Sazerac is going to acquire Svedka Vodka from Constellation
Interesting.
Brands. Yeah. Sazerac has been just buying up all the liquor that's cheap lately. They are really bolstering their portfolio. I think they have like 300 brands right now. It's fucking insane. The sale, which is expected to close in the coming months, is part of Constellation's plan to premiumize its wine and spirits business, which has not kept pace with the gains that its beer portfolio of Mexican imports has delivered. So
I know all about the gains.
Yes, you do. Drunk driver says he had nothing to drink, but his mother tells officers he's too drunk to walk. Ratted on by his mommy. Officers came upon a 2-car crash at 3:48 a.m. and learned that a sedan had struck a box truck when it ran a red light at the intersection with South Belvoir Boulevard, whatever. While officers were speaking with the driver of the box truck, the motorist in the sedan began to drive away. Officers followed the sedan and conducted a traffic stop. I love that he drove away and then stopped for the cops. The driver said he thought it was only a minor fender bender. Officers immediately detected an odor of alcohol. The 20-year-old South Euclid man, claiming to have had nothing to drink, subsequently failed sobriety test and was arrested for OVI. At the police station, he walked into a glass window next to the jail cell that officers had yet to open for him to enter. His mother picked him up from jail and said he was so drunk he could barely walk. She had not seen him since he left their home around midnight that night to pick up some snacks. Love it.
Unreal. There's Uber now. Like Uber Eats, like just fucking order something.
In fact, last week I was talking about having mimosas at Thanksgiving, and I forgot to tell this part. When I opened the champagne that I got, it exploded. And when the champagne exploded, like half of it, it hit the fucking ceiling. Half of it emptied the bottle. I've never had it that bad before. And so my sister Uber Eats more champagne, and it was fantastic. So all this to
Sounds
say,
like something she would do.
Yeah. So all this to say, you fucking idiot. What are you doing driving around for snacks when there's Uber Eats, and apparently you live with your mom? Tell your mom to go get you some fucking Taco Bell. What's wrong with you? Mom, where's the meatloaf?
If she's making you meatloaf, she can go get you some hooch.
Exactly. Come on. We'll end on this one. Superhero arrested for drunk driving and fleeing police. This is out of England.
Did he fly away?
Well, no, this superhero is not much of a flyer. This comes from England. Wiltshire police said that 25-year-old Lewis Blondridge crashed his car into a telephone pole on November 19th. He quickly exited the vehicle and ran away from the crash, with local residents chasing him.
Really? Residents? Interesting.
It took multiple police teams, including police dogs, to find Bondridge. When he finally was apprehended, he failed a breathalyzer test, and a blood test proved that his BAC was over twice the legal limit. Curiously, and without explanation, Blondridge was found wearing a Batman costume.
Outstanding.
It was great. And there's photos. Maybe I should gram it or something, because the photo of him is great.
Maybe gram it.
At Crafty Republic. They have his face blurred, but yeah, he's in full-on Batman costume.
I almost feel like there's no better way to get arrested than like that.
Right. If you're going to do it, go fucking hardcore.
Like, could you imagine getting a movie replica, like Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles costume? And then just fucking around and getting arrested in that, and then trying to handcuff your big fat spongy wrists that are
right. You can't get them behind my shell.
And then getting stuffed into a back of a squad car.
Sir, I can't fit. My shell's too big. There's nunchucks up my ass. Hold on, please.
That's so good.
Yeah. So good times. Way to do it upright.
You just sent me the picture. That's
I just sent Flexi the picture. Yeah. There's a whole video too. There's body cam footage. I was watching it, and it's the cop like reading him his rights, reading Batman his rights. It was great. Good times.
That's amazing.
Yeah. So, all right, let's get out of here before my internet completely crashes. I'm going to say hello to Vanessa. Hi, Vanessa.
Hi, Vanessa.
Hit some music. Find us on the socials at Craft Beer Republic and at Flex Me a Beer _ in between. 805-538-BEER 2337. That is the number to call. Leave us a voicemail. Mail at craftbeerrepublic.com. I think that's all the things. Hope everyone is staying very well hydrated.
And on that note,
good night, everybody.